People often ask the question, is the American dream dead? I believe the moment we stop dreaming, we might as well be. Hi, I'm your host, Craig Sewing, the creator of American Dream TV, a national TV show centered around real estate, lifestyle, and culture. A real show showing you real neighborhoods from real professionals. Today, we're going to take you all across the country, showing you why we live in the greatest country on the planet. Let's get this show started right now. Welcome to the American Dream.
The American Dream.
You're watching The American Dream.
The American Dream.
Showing you the real estate, the lifestyle, the culture.
Let's get this party started right now.
Let's go do this.
It is heating up once again.
We're the Davids going up against the Goliath. Real stories in real neighborhoods with real experts.
The staple of the neighborhood. Can't wait to present it to you.
It's all about lifestyle.
In your community.
That's what this show, The American Dream, is all about. Cheers to your American Dream.
Welcome to American Dream TV. I'm your host, MJ Mata, and on today's episode of Alaska Lifestyle, I will be giving you tips not on how to play this game. Instead, I'm going to introduce you to a piece of Palmer history. Let's meet my friend Cheyenne Gilman-Burke from Signature Real Estate and learn about two beautiful barns that have caught the attention of Alaska Barn Rescue and Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to showcase this super unique property today.
Absolutely, I'm wicked excited about it. So Cheyenne, take us back to 1935. Tell us all the awesome history about these colony barns, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So originally these two buildings were built in 1935. And what happened was 203 families were actually moved here from the Midwest, part of the New Deal program, and they were given plots of land. So what happened was they developed Matanuska Colony. That turned into the agricultural hotspot of Alaska, which is Palmer, Alaska.
And these do not look like they're from 1935, so they've been totally renovated.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the inside and have you tell us all about what the sellers have done over the years.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Okay.
We can go on inside and take a look.
All right, come on, guys.
Both of the buildings were renovated in 2023. However, the goal was to keep as much of the original barns as possible. So both of the haylofts on the smaller and larger buildings were kept. And they actually sandblasted the interior rafters to preserve those.
That's a really cool piece of that history, and I love that they preserved it. It's absolutely stunning. Okay, this would even make an awesome Airbnb.
Yeah, yes, Airbnb for sure, especially because we're in such a great location for tourism that the access to Wasilla for the Iditarod Restart and the Palmer State Fairgrounds is but a stone's throw away.
Yeah, or a Frisbee golf throwaway.
Heck yeah. Right.
Well, speaking of the versatility, let's go ahead and meet with Gretchen from Bella Bites and talk with her about getting ready for our event tonight.
Sounds great.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, this looks absolutely fabulous. I cannot wait to try all of this deliciousness.
Thank you.
What I'd really love to know is how you got this business started and where did you come up with the name Bella Bites?
Bella Bites actually came from my best friend. My nickname for her always has been Bella. And recently we found out she had cancer and she's fine, she's doing good. So I wanted to do something that was in homage to her, and so I decided to call it Bella Bites, which actually means beautiful bites.
Yes, in Italian.
Yes, in Italian, and she's a beautiful person, and I love beautiful food. I love making beautiful food, and so that's how that kind of came about.
I see that you have some dessert options. We have a wine bar, some
Yes.
charcuterie cups. What other services do you provide?
Mostly grazing boards. So I will set up an entire event where you pick the theme. It can be tacos, it can be barbecue, it can be burgers, and I set up a whole grazing table like that. Those are my grazing options. And then I also do just baking. I bake for a couple local places in town. I really enjoy baking. I do desserts. I do, of course, the charcuteries.
Oh, yes.
I do little boxes. We do the cups, as you can see over there too. So there's a variety of different things that I offer for services, but mainly right now I'm focusing on building that grazing part of it and just trying to get myself out there a little bit more.
I love that. So your services are very versatile, just like the use of this property that we're
Absolutely.
at. So it's really great to have you here co-hosting an event with us today. Thank you so much for your time and for making all this deliciousness. We can't wait for our guests to get here
I'm
to enjoy it.
I'm excited to have them. I love to entertain people.
Awesome. Thank you for taking it back to 1935 with me today as we toured this beautiful Palmer property. If you want more information, contact Cheyenne or myself. And if your mouth was watering while I was eating that delicious cupcake, look up Bella Bites on Facebook and book her for your next event. Thank you for joining me today on American Dream TV. I'm your host, MJ Mata of Alaska Lifestyle. We'll see you next time.
Hey everybody, it's Jackie Thornburg with the American Dream, coming to you from the heart of Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Today I'm going to show you why this city was named Best Coastal Small Town by the USA Today. From the vibrant art galleries, eclectic boutiques, and award-winning restaurants, this city bustles with excitement, with a lively nightlife and many different types of festivals. But the best part of Ocean Springs is the generosity and friendliness of the people. We're here today in Ocean Springs, Mississippi at the Zebra Run, which is a charity fundraiser for the United MSD Foundation. So we're getting ready to end the race. So if you hear cheering, that's what it's for.
Yes, they're coming in.
So Amber, tell us, why is it called the Zebra Race?
Sure, so zebra is the symbol for rare disease. And when you go to the doctor, they typically look for the most common disease, like cystic fibrosis or whatever it is. And when they go to medical school, they're taught to look for horses, not zebras. Well, my daughter has a rare disease, and there's millions of people out there with rare diseases. And so we're trying to bring attention to the zebras and hope that they get the diagnosis soon so they know what they have.
Tell us a little bit about Willow and her story.
Sure. So my youngest daughter, Willow, was diagnosed with a rare condition called multiple sulfatase deficiency when she was 2 years old in 2016. And it's a devastating condition. It's fatal. Most children don't live past 10 years of age. And she actually passed away last year at the age of 11. And so when they gave us the diagnosis, they said that there's nothing you can do, take her home and just be with her. And we started to research, and we found doctors across the world that had studied the disease and actually knew how to fix it, but funding was the problem. So we started fundraising, started the Zebra Run, and then just this community, Ocean Springs community, has built this up to just an amazing cause. And we're going to be in a clinical trial the next couple of years because of the support here.
One of my favorite things about Ocean Springs is the people. They are amazing. So Amber, I know the community has come together to help you with this foundation. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, so when Willow was diagnosed, here I got this devastating news, and I went to my Ocean Springs Rotary Club. We went, Willow, all of my kids were in Ocean Springs School District. And I was like, this is what's going on. There's a potential that we could help her, but we can definitely help other kids. And everybody just jumped in and helped. I mean, the schools supported us. Ocean Springs Rotary has just been incredible. And all of the community is just, the hospital here, Singing River Hospital, has been a big supporter. Just everybody jumped in and said, what do we need to do? And they all have been helping over the years.
All the fundraising year after year, every year we keep getting better, more people keep coming, like the Zebra Run keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
The people of Ocean Springs, you can always count on them.
I know, and now we have other families, not just in Ocean Springs, but across the state that come in, or even from Louisiana or neighboring states. They have a rare disease, or they have a child with a rare disease, and they come in so they feel supported. So we're bringing them in from outside. So it's been incredible support here.
It's awesome. So Amber, tell us about Zebra and the Bear.
Yes, so in 2017, a year after we started the foundation, I was, racking my brain on how to raise this money for the clinical trials. And I met up with a documentary filmmaker who happened to live in Pass Cheyenne, which is just a few cities over. And he had made a couple of documentaries already. And I had told him the story. I was like, look, we're trying to raise millions of dollars and we've got to do a toxicology study. And there's other families doing this. And they had bought like herds of sheep to do the toxicology study. And he was like, what? He's like, yeah, that sounds like a story. And so he started following us. And for 7 years, he followed our family and filmed Willow and then all the fundraising and all the stuff that we've done over the years. He went with me to DC. He went with me to Texas, UT Southwestern. And so just an amazing view at what is happening to a lot of families in the world that are doing the same thing that we're doing.
So Amber, if people wanted to get involved, what should they do?
You could do a zebra run in your area, or we would love for you to come to Ocean Springs next year and participate. You don't have to run. You can come hang out, see the beautiful weather. We'd love to have you.
Thanks for joining me, Jackie Thornburg, in the beautiful city of Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I'm glad that you were able to take a sneak peek at some of the amazing boutiques, the award-winning restaurants, and the art museums that we have here to offer. And I'm so glad that you were able to experience the Zebra Run and learn about the United MSD Foundation. So the next time you're looking for a vacation, please come down to Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and join us in this wonderful, beautiful, best coastal small town.
Hi, I'm Tammy Dumais, your host for American Dream TV, and I'm here today from my beautiful home state of Maine. Whether it's the people, the place, or the traditions, Maine has a way of getting into your soul. So pull up a chair, grab a coffee, or maybe even a whoopie pie, and let's go explore another gem in Maine together. Hi, Kat.
Hey.
Tell me a little bit more about Blazing Star Stables and what you do. How is your horse farm different from any other horse farm that offers riding lessons?
We take any level of experienced horse or level of experienced human, and we're making it into where they're going to be successful. A lot of barns you go to, they have a generalized population that's similar to each other.
Okay.
We don't.
So your population of horses are varied, is what I'm hearing.
Varied in size, age, and breed. There are some days when the older population just needs a pick-me-up. And one of the things we do here is light therapy. So it's a holistic approach. And the kids or students learn how to assess and how to treat the horse.
So Kat, you've had such success here that you have another project going on.
Oh, yes.
Share that with us.
So these obstacles you see here are movable.
Okay.
We have translated across the road to a space where the obstacles will become more permanent.
So this will be an obstacle course, and it sounds like a little bit of an indoor-outdoor classroom.
Yeah.
Where you're going to teach teachers on how to continue to share this with community, other farms, etc.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So today we're going to do an equine facilitated learning kind of practice event here. And we're working on nonverbal and verbal communication. And we're incorporating our horse with this because you are going to draw. I've made a ring. You're drawing an obstacle course, and then you're going to guide your partner through it. I'm going to have you be giving directions. Do you want to give directions from one spot, or do you want to be kind of close?
I was going to follow.
Okay, go for it. So you have a map that you've drawn out with there's a couple different obstacles that we actually can't see except for the bridge. So you're verbally gonna direct him.
But I'm not stating what the obstacle is.
Correct. He doesn't get to see that, but it's working on your relationship with the other person and how well do we take or receive direction and how well do we give direction.
Right.
And how does our horse work with us?
All right, we're gonna come this way. And before we get to the bridge, there is a pole on the ground. And then we're gonna cross over the bridge. After the bridge, we're going to make a circle. And right after you finish that circular obstacle, there's a big tire that you need to walk through. Good.
Awesome.
We all made it.
Everybody made it.
Nice.
Okay. Now, what did you think of having to draw something that wasn't going to be there and then coach your husband through it?
So for me, it was almost like anticipating the nonverbal and then the verbal and how that was all going to come into play, and then how he was going to kind of share that with the horse and how the horse would interpret it.
This is Elements of Education in Nature.
Okay.
Where there are outdoor classrooms in the woods behind us.
Okay, so this is your vision of where the horses will be, their owners will be.
This pile of rocks is going to be a zero entry pool.
What's zero entry pool mean?
So zero entry means that you can walk into it like you would at a beach.
So a horse and or rider overcoming the fear of entering the water, how does that serve them?
It's teaching them how to approach it, how to be comfortable and trust their rider, and how to maneuver through it.
And you mentioned earlier that you're not aware of anything else in the state that exists like this.
Not that I can find.
I can see your vision, and your vision is amazing. I can't wait to see this completed and the continued healing, helping, sharing that you're providing, not only to the community, but how it's compounding, and you're teaching teachers with it.
Thank you.
I'm Tammy Dumais here in my beautiful home state of Maine. Thank you for joining us here on American Dream TV. Whether you call Maine home or you're just passing through, there's always another adventure waiting just up the road.
Welcome to American Dream TV. I'm your host, Lynn Butterfield. Today we're in Fayetteville, Arkansas at the new Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant. We're going to visit with Chef Tyler Rogers, one of the really great local chefs here. He's going to show us the food, show us the club, show us the hotel. Welcome to romantic, idyllic America. Chef Tyler.
Lynn, how are you doing?
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to see you. Yeah.
It's all my pleasure.
Thanks for coming.
This is your new place?
This is the new place. This is the Stonebreaker.
And this is the bar?
Yeah, here we have our beautiful bar, copper top lining here. We have our lounge over here, which is just an extension of our bar, a bunch of lovely, just comfortable seating, as well as our hidden lounge that you can reserve just for a private group for yourself.
I love the design here. Tell us about your vision for this.
So my idea for this restaurant was for us to try to be a cornerstone of the community, something everyone feels welcome coming to in the area. A big vision for us here was obviously to be a big part of the community, but to also serve a lot of the community, and that includes the farmers in the area. So roughly 75% of everything we serve is from within 200 miles of this restaurant.
Well, this is amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much. Please sit down.
Just a little thing you whipped up, right?
Of course.
So tell us about this.
So in front of you, we just have our sheep's milk pimento cheese with a caramelized onion jam. It's finished with just a little bit of chive and some micro leeks that we get from a local farm.
Wow.
This is our shrimp bichotan. So we use a Japanese style charcoal grill that burns this very specific charcoal that burns really, really high heat, but it has very little smoke. It just imparts a really nice flavor on the shrimp. On the bottom, you have a butternut squash mole. So we make almost a mole sauce with a bunch of nuts and aromatics, but we also use roasted butternut squash in it. And it's finished with some coriander, some fried Brussels, and a little bit of Aleppo pepper.
And you make the sourdough bread here?
Our sourdough actually comes from Ozark Natural Breads, who's about 5 minutes from here. So it's just another great local company that we can support, and they make wonderful bread.
I'm going to try this cheese. It has so much more flavor than a normal cheddar.
100%. Yeah, it's the sheep's milk. It's the Anabas cheese that we use.
Wow.
When you crack open the wheel, it's like almost like smelling a barnyard, which might not sound great to some people, but in the cheese making world, it's actually pretty special.
And the microgreens are grown here?
Yes, yeah, we actually have 2 different farmers we work with. We work with one in Fayetteville, who lives 2 minutes from this house, and then we work with one in Bentonville. So we pull a little bit from everywhere.
Amazing depth of flavor.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, I can just
I'll say pick up one of the shrimp. You gotta try the shrimp too.
The depth that just keeps coming, right?
Yep. So we get these beautiful black tiger shrimp, obviously not locally, but we get them very nice flown in every week. I think they just have a beautiful flavor. We marinate them in a little bit of a ginger and a garlic oil before we grill them on our bichotan grill.
The thing that's amazing to me is that you're a local guy.
Yeah.
You grew up in Magnolia, and so you really understand the local culture and how to source all of these. And it took you a long time to source all these materials locally.
It has, but I mean, luckily through the few years that I've been here, especially in Northwest Arkansas, I've got to meet just a lot of local farmers that A, really care about what they're doing, and B, love to see it put on a plate and also cared for after it's left their hands, which is something that we really try to honor them and what they do here.
It's the best that Arkansas has to offer, and you're the best that Arkansas has to offer.
Thank you very much, Len. You're making me blush on camera.
Would you mind showing us the club upstairs?
I would love to, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is our members bar. It's beautiful, it's just for members only. They can bring guests if they would like to, but they're free to come up here, have cocktails. They do free coffee and teas in the morning. They have their own separate members menu, so they can order off of. And there's a few other amenities that we offer. And as we continue to ramp up the property, we're gonna have activations in different spots. We're gonna have professors for the university come do lectures. We're gonna do cooking classes. They've already done bartending classes up here. So try to always have something going on for the members.
Fun. So it's really a social club?
Yeah, it is.
And there's, I think you told me, a weight room down in the basement?
Yeah, and then we have a gym down in the basement that has a shower and some changing rooms.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's so comfortable with lots of private lounge spaces.
Yeah, and plus there's a pool table too.
Thanks for joining me here at the Stonebreaker Hotel and Restaurant in Fayetteville. You won't go wrong by eating here. The food is amazing. The depth of flavor is off the charts. Hotel rooms brand new, nice. You can stay here and enjoy a Razorback football game or basketball game. But whatever you do, don't miss this location. And when you come, call me and invite me. I love it here. Thanks for joining me here in idyllic America.
Lexington, Kentucky is the horse capital of the world. Thanks to its fertile soil and limestone filtered water, it has a tradition that is deeply rooted in the thoroughbred industry. Today we're at Keeneland Racetrack, home to historic horse sales and world-class racing. And we have the opportunity to sit with the Ed Brown Society as they celebrate the contributions African Americans have made to the horse racing industry. Hi, my name is Ivy Barksdale, and I'm your host for American Dream TV. And today, we're off to the races with the Ed Brown Society. Let's go. We're here with the Ed Brown Society for their annual race day. I have with me Clark Williams, who is the president of the Ed Brown Society. Clark, tell me a little bit about how this society got started and when.
Well, the society got started really operationally in 2021. Our mission is to celebrate the rich history of African Americans in the thoroughbred industry. And one of the most accomplished individuals in the industry that was an African American was a gentleman by the name of Edward Dudley Brown. He was born into slavery, and he went on to learn and apprentice under another prolific trainer by the name of Ansel Williamson, who was also a formerly enslaved individual. But Ed Brown went on to win the Belmont Stakes as a jockey. He also trained a Kentucky Derby winner, trained a number of other champions, and trained and owned many other championship horses. And he was also a very generous man. And so not only do we celebrate the history of African Americans in the industry, but we pay that forward by creating opportunities for individuals that typically do not get opportunities or have not had the exposures to gain access to this industry. And so we do that. Yes, we have scholarships, but we also have internships, and we also do career coaching and other things to prepare people to really thrive in this industry or just thrive professionally in general.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So Nigel, tell me, what has being an Ed Brown Scholar meant to you?
It's been phenomenal. So since 2024, I've been in this program, working through different events, doing network opportunities, getting guided on mentorship and interview prep. But now it's turning to preparing for my interviews, and now I have a full-time position at Churchill Downs after, 4 interviews.
Okay, so you're graduating in May?
Yes, ma'am. I graduated in May, and then I start in the full-time position in June.
I've been an Ed Brown Scholar since 2019. I always had a passion for animals and horses, but being able to learn more about the sport and the different dynamics and job opportunities has really been instrumental. And I really also appreciated the mentorship aspect of being within the Ed Brown Society.
Koya, as a supporter of the Ed Brown Society, yes, what has this meant for you and your partnership with Living the Dream?
It's great to be a part of this and to support people that normally wouldn't have the chance or the opportunity to get a chance to experience this.
What does race day, tell me how does that make you feel?
Just the whole aesthetic of being around everyone, the betting, and of course the dressing. That's one of my favorite parts. But I love the camaraderie that we have with one another. We get a chance to see people that we haven't seen in a few years or maybe a few months. So it's really great to come out here. Take your chances on betting. Some days are good and some days aren't, but it's just a fun time with everyone here.
Have at the end of race day with the Ed Brown Society being recognized after the 5th race. I'm your host, Ivy Barksdale. It has been a pleasure taking you along with me to Keeneland. I'll see you next time on the American Dream TV.
I'm Tamara Williams, and today we are stepping off the real estate field and onto the rugby pitch at the Bobcat Bowl Rugby Tournament. And we're going to chat with a few of the team members before the big tournament, and also my marketing manager, Emma, who coaches a local team. Joining me today are Finn and Dom. Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
So Finn is one of the standout players for the men's rugby team, and Dom is the president. And they're going to tell us a little bit about the rugby going on here at MSU. So what is the significance of the Bobcat Bowl?
So the Bobcat Bowl is a big tournament for us. It's our only home tournament that we get to host here on our field during the sevens season. Unfortunately, the way sevens is formatted, it's all tournament based. So we're traveling all over the country to play different tournaments. And so it's our only home event to bring out everyone in Bozeman to check out rugby and hopefully learn a little bit more about the sport and cheer us on and support us.
Great. And what makes this sport so unique?
So rugby is very unique in the way that it's very physical, but also very fast-paced, and especially in sevens, it's only 7-minute halves. So you're playing a 14-minute long game. It's an all-out sprint the whole time. And I came from playing football growing up, so I thought I was ready for the physicality of the sport, but I was never prepared for the conditioning required. I don't think I ever ran more than a mile in a single go until I joined this team. But also coming from football, the biggest thing that makes rugby unique is the culture. It's very different than any sport where you're at war on the field, but then as soon as the game's over, you shake hands and you get to hang out with the other teams after, and everyone's friends. And that goes beyond just the collegiate level. I mean, any level of rugby is that way.
So real estate is competitive, but how competitive is rugby? I'm sure I have no idea.
It's competitive. Rugby's brutal. You go into that knowing it. There's no pads, no helmets, no protection, nothing. It's just you, your cleats, and the guy in front of you. You gotta be willing to get hurt. It's gonna happen. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna get bruised. Gotta be willing to put a shoulder down. Gotta be willing to play aggressive. On the field, you know, those guys aren't your friends, and you gotta be able to put it all out there, put your body on the line for your team. That's really what it's about, is sacrificing, you know, yourself and comfort at the time to get that victory. And after the game, you know, you'll have a beer and all that, but you got to be aggressive. You got to be willing to take some pain and give some pain. Last year's Bobcat Sevens, it came down to the wire between us and our usual rival, Colorado Mesa. It was a tie going into the end of the game. We thought it was over, but the tournament called for an overtime in order for that to be a qualifier. So we were really fighting to go to DC, go to nationals. The boys pulled it out. It was grueling. It was long, but watching that last try break through, I mean, that was a different feeling. Seeing everybody celebrate. We get to go to nationals. We get to go compete. That was really awesome.
That's incredible. You played rugby here at Montana State. How did you like it?
I loved it. I made so many friends, and I'm still so connected with everybody through the Alumni Foundation, and it was just a great time. It taught me how to be a competitor and an athlete, and yeah, I loved it. I love rugby. It's great.
And so if somebody wanted to get into rugby that did not come to MSU, how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, so rugby is actually growing in the Gallatin Valley, and there's lots of options for kiddos to play nowadays. So the Gallatin Wranglers team, they're a local team with all of the different high schools, and they actually have a team for under 12, under 10, under 15, under 19 players. So you can enroll your kiddos now and get them started in rugby. It's a great sport. So yeah, I would recommend that.
So can you enter in about a 3-year-old?
Yeah, actually, yeah, we have options for little kiddos too. So yeah.
Get my kids involved.
Awesome, do it.
Well, that's a wrap for the Bobcat Bowl Rugby Tournament. And seeing the passion, success, and determination on that field was incredible. Whether you're in real estate or out on the field, having the right people by your side determines your success. I'm Tamara Williams, and thank you so much for joining me for American Dream TV.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the American Dream TV. We created this show to combat negative media, to show that the American Dream is alive and well by showing you real stories in real neighborhoods. Thank you so much for watching the show, and cheers to your American Dream.